clean the hard ground off my plate, I want to turn to our parts washer. This is a lid that lifts up. I want to have my plate. I want to have a little bit of odorless mineral spirits to help clean off the hard ground. Our odorless mineral spirits comes in two parts, so it's like kind of a white, milky, non-flammable substance with a clear solvent-based substance. So I want to make sure I shake it up before I use it. I also want to be cautious about setting it anywhere other than on top of our parts washer or on one of the bricks inside of it. I don't want to set it on the hot plate next to the parts washer because it could ignite, even though it's the non-flammable kind. So I want to set my plate in here. A little bit of mineral spirits on it. So I am wearing nitrile gloves, which are solvent resistant, but I think it's probably safer to put on these solvent gloves that are just hanging here over those gloves. And inside the solvent bin, or the parts washer bin, are old toothbrushes. So I'm going to just use a toothbrush and I'm going to kind of spread that mineral spirits around. Light pressure and agitation. And it should kind of break down the hard ground. And lift it up. Sometimes I can see my etching where the hard ground is melting into the lines, like ink will. Sometimes I can't. It's not a big deal either way, but sometimes it can be kind of neat to have the image be revealed to you as you're cleaning the plate. So I can take a little bit of that. This is just sawdust here. Take a little bit of sawdust and sort of mop up the excess hard ground. It'll also polish off any that's kind of resisting coming off. And then I'll just take a little bit of that sawdust and kind of polish the rest of it off. I'm also going to make sure I get any hard ground or solvent that's off the back. Wipe any excess sawdust off back into the sawdust bin. And you'll notice maybe from the camera angle, but there's a little bit of where I drew the Sharpie on my bevels to protect it. And so I can either use just a small amount of acetone or denatured alcohol and clean that off with one of the brushes or a rag that goes in the solvent bin when I'm done. Or I generally plan on just giving my bevels a light scrape and burnish before I print. And because I'm going to do that, that'll take that off right away. So to print, I need to degrease and deoxidize this again. Same procedure that I did before I prepared to put the hard ground on. But first I'm going to close up this bin. Put away the solvent which goes on top of the flammable cabinet. So I've given my plate a light scrape and burnish on the bevel just to make sure it's clean. And also that it's smooth again. It's really easy to get a little bit of false biting on there. So if I just scrape and burnish it lightly, it tends to take care of that. Now I can peel off the back. So I'm done with the process of it being in the acid. That shelving paper should go in the water-based waste because it's been in the ferric. Might have some residue on it. And then I'm going to follow the degrease and deoxidize procedures. So I want to go ahead and degrease with a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend or Bonami. And I like to do both sides of the plate at this point. Rinse off the degreaser, a little bit of vinegar and salt. And just lightly agitate with your hands to deoxidize. Rinse it. And of course, we always deoxidize and degrease twice. And that last deoxidation with the salt and vinegar and then a final rinse. And I can either store my plate after I dry it with paper towels completely dry, or after I dry it completely dry with paper towels, I'm ready to print. And you can kind of see when the light plays across it, you can see my lines that have been etched into the plate.